Hello and welcome to another Puzzling Time video. Today I'm going to talk about three different puzzles, but they come as a trilogy and they're all by Frederic Boucher. Now there are some similarities with these. The first similarity you might notice is the names. The Taiyaki, Takoyaki and Sukiyaki are all types of kind of food or Japanese food preparation. They're all from 2020, and if I open them up, you'll see that actually the box sizes are all the same. So we have a 2 by 3 by 4 space to fill. And the objective for all these is the same as well. The objective is to completely fill the box, leaving kind of no gaps. So with that in mind, let's have a look at the three different puzzles. Before I do that, I will say, usually Frederic Boucher puzzles are extremely difficult. There's a lot of extremely difficult Boucher puzzles out there by him. But these are actually quite approachable. And if you get a chance to pick these up, and you should do because they are still available, not too expensive either. It's well worth getting. You do get extra challenges with them. Especially, I think Takoyaki there and Taiyaki, you get some extra challenges. So it's well worth, getting your money's worth and completing the extra challenges as well. So the other thing about Frederic Boucher packing puzzles is they can sometimes involve rotation. Now I'm not going to give any spoilers away, so I'm not going to say whether 1, 2 or 3 of these require rotations, but it's quite obvious when you start playing with them, those that do and those that don't. Maybe as a small hint, point out that not all of these will require rotation. So we'll start with Taiyaki first. So here's the Taiyaki box. It's a laser cut box, very nicely produced by Oso in Japan, and the pieces for this kind of resemble a little bit kind of like a Soma cube. We've certainly got 3 Soma pieces there. This is orientated the wrong way. We're missing the L and the S, but we have this square, and the idea is obviously put all of these pieces into the box and pack them in such a way that everything is filled. There's enough cubes there to fill all the voxels, so that's completely filled. I really enjoyed this. It's got a nice dance to it. If you like Osanaro Yamamoto puzzles or Alexander Magyarek's puzzles, you'll probably enjoy this. I wouldn't say it's as kind of intricate and as detailed a dance at the end, but because there's more pieces, there's a little bit more thinking at the beginning about the orientation. What you do tend to find with a lot of 3D packers is there's only 1 or 2 orientations, and that is why actually it's just working out that dance. And once you've got the kind of general shape to fill the gaps, it's pretty simple. With these pieces, because you're making an entire cuboid, there's many more orientations. That's just a little bit harder to kind of work out what the correct orientation is going to be. If you want a hard kind of 3D packer, then I would recommend something like Pincers, which is a Magyarek's, because Pincers doesn't ask you to fill all the entrance or look like an apparent cube. So it actually makes it much harder because there are more orientations and kind of more ways to put pieces together. The next one we'll look at will be Takoyaki. So Takoyaki has this interesting entrance, again just on the one side, similar to Taiyaki. And the pieces are all the same apart from one. So if we look at the pieces, they tend to all have kind of this orientation, and they all go together very nicely. And then this last one doesn't fit the same. This is the last one. Doesn't quite fit the same. Is that right? Oh, there's 2 that are different. There's 2 that are different. So these 2 different pieces, again, kind of Soma style. You get 1 of each, don't you, in a Soma? it's just making sure that, you know, we can put these together, and they go into the cuboid. As you can see, we can't force anything through an angle, so everything's got to kind of go through fairly flat. There's only a couple of really orientations that can go in. Nice, tricky puzzle. Probably my least favourite out of the three, if I'm honest. I prefer Taiyaki, certainly, and Sukiyaki that's coming up. But it's nice to complete the set, and it's a very different solve than Taiyaki as well. It's good that, in fact, all three of these are different solves. So let's put that there. And the last one, which I've already mentioned, Sukiyaki. And it looks like we've got pieces that are all the same, but actually they're similar, but they're not exactly the same. This is our box, much more interesting box. We have this strange zigzag on top, but we also have 2 holes at the front and 1 at the side. And then these are the pieces. So we have 4 pieces which are identical, which is like S-shaped pieces. That's 4 pieces. And then we've got 2 which have got a kind of half cube kind of taken out, so they would fit together like this, for example. And this is a really kind of interesting solve. This is probably the most interesting solve of the 3. You know, it's very enjoyable. Again, lots of different ways of putting these together. And this isn't really a super restrictive opening, so there's lots of orientations of how to get pieces in. Very interesting. I really like this one as well. Definitely kind of up there with Taiyaki, a little bit better in my opinion than Takoyaki. And again, you know, it fills the cube completely. So that's a look at these 3 pieces. They are currently available on Puzzling in Japan, but also I've noticed that the Cubic Dissection Marketplace event that is starting in a couple of days' time also has some of these available. So if they're going at a decent price and you kind of live locally and shipping will be cheap, it's well worth thinking about getting your hands on a set, because really enjoyable solve. And in fact, I'm going to go away now and solve all these again. It's a good value for money. They're nicely produced. They're very clean. There's no little bits of wood or burn on them, and they're a great introduction to packing puzzles and a great introduction to some of the ideas that Boucher has. I hope you've enjoyed this mini little review and it's been useful for you to kind of see some different designers or some different types of puzzle, and I'll let you go away, do a bit of research yourself. Chat to you all very soon. Bye for now.